Hello, welcome everyone. Hope you're all doing good and great to see you all once again. Also, thank you for your great response on the workshop we had conducted. In this video, I'll be giving you an overview about the enhancements done and the new in this new version 23.22. The first change what we have done is in the sales, that is the cost estimation enhancement. In the cost estimation, previously we had to delete a particular cost estimation sheet and generate a new one for the updated rate of the components. So now in the new scenario, we have given a refresh button so that the component latest rate is picked and shown in the cost estimation sheet. So now you don't have to delete the cost estimation sheet and regenerate it on the present cost estimation sheet can be refreshed with the latest rates. Next change what we have done is in the sales order itemized fulfillment report. We have enhanced this report adding a column of the shipping dates. Initially we had the delivery dates in this report, but for the longer shipping we did not know what was what would be the expected shipping date. So now we have added this column for you as a user to get the details about when is the shipping date on the sales screen with the delivery date. The next change what we have done is in the sales under cost estimation. So companies always had to check what is the most economical option between making a product in-house or directly purchasing it. So in the new scenario, we have provided option for the supplier quotation that would be picked to the cost estimation sheet, and the user can compare between the producing it in-house and purchasing it. So in the cost estimation sheet, we have given a link to directly get the list of RFQ. The next change what we have done is in the purchase, in the advanced supplier notice, that is the ASN, which is available for the clients who has taken the supplier interface. So it's a good practice for the supplier invoice, and the supplier can upload his documents when he is generating a ASN document, and that ASN document is reflected at our end before receiving the material. Now you can ask a supplier to upload and import the documents in the ASN screen, and that documents can be referred at our end before getting the material. The next option what we have introduced is in the purchase module. That is the bulk import function for purchase request by adding a specification column. So previously, if I had multiple items in my PR and I wanted to add it, and if I use the Excel format, I did not add a specification column in my Excel format. So now we have introduced the Excel in specification column in our Excel format. So which will ease your work, and you don't have to manually type in the specification in all the items that are added in the PR. Next change what we have done is that it's in the purchase module. We have now showing the amendment dates. It's just not in the purchase module. It is also in the order acknowledgement print. It is basically a print change. So now we are showing the amendment dates in our SO print as well as the PO print. Initially, we did not had any reference of the revised dates. So now we are showing the latest amendment date in the purchase order and the order acknowledgement printout. So our customer as well as our supplier knows the revised date or the amendment date of that particular document. The next change what we have done is in the purchase, we have added a RFQ. In the purchase RFQ option, we have added a provision to compare it by a new comparison level we have added, that is, we can compare it by a lead time of the item. So the companies need the companies only had the provision to compare the RFQ by only the value way. But there could be a scenario where value is not important for me, the lead time is more important, because the early the component is received at my end, the earlier the dispatches might be made, and I can get a good value. So now, in the scenario, in the purchase RFQ, you can mention the landed rate as well as the lead time rate. And on the basis of this lead time, you can compare it also. You can also finalize by lead time as well as value in the given scope. Next, purchase equation of ROL items has been enhanced. So initially the user has to manually calculate the purchase equivalent quantity for the reorder level items and consider the available stock and resources, and manually the user has to calculate and put in the required quantity. Now in this new scenario, the calculation of the PR quantity has been automated for the items that are below reorder level. So now the user doesn't have to put in his efforts and time to calculate the required quantity. The system automatically calculates and gives the quantity. The next feature what we have, the next enhancement what we have done is in the purchase module. That is, we have introduced the currency conversion factor of auto capturing in the purchase. Earlier, the currency conversion was manually fed for the input suppliers. Now, we have a scenario where you can mention the currency conversion master, and based on that currency conversion master, while creating the PO, the currency conversion rate is fetched. So you don't have to manually, the purchaser don't have to manually mention the conversion factor. The master is what they have defined, from that system will auto fetch it. The next enhancement what we have made is we have introduced a supplier contact person. Previously also we had a supplier contact person, but there was no compulsion field to add a supplier contact person. Now we have made it compulsory. So once my supplier is created, you can generate a contact person. So once my supplier is saved, system directly redirects me to the contact person screen. And this data, the contact person data, also we are fetching on the purchase order printouts. Next change what we have done, the enhancement what we have done is in the purchase requisition detail report. So previously, if I want to identify who is the supplier and what is the PO number for this PR, I had to click on this PO quantity against PR column every time and get the data. But when I used to extract that particular data in the Excel format, it was not possible for me because the clickable fields were not fetched in the Excel. Now we have got both the columns outside that particular clip, and it can be reviewed in your purchase requisition detail. So it will help you to identify that this particular PR is converted to this PO, and this PO is against this PO is against this particular supplier. Next, they have made some new changes in the quality, that we have added a new filter of item category for the final inspection report. So there was no way to filter the final inspection report by item category. So we have introduced in this version the item category filter. So it is basically helpful for as a user, as a quality person, that he can categorize his inspections and the data entry screen by categorizing it by item category, by filtering it out by item category. The next changes what we have done is in the TC. So the clients who are using the test certificates, for them this is important. So in the physical lot registration, there were no remarks section to add any extra data. So now we have introduced the remarks column. So there the users can add any additional data they want and it is saved. The next thing we have done is in the TC. The physical lot registration can be copied from the existing physical lot. So in some cases, the same lot is repeated for the list many times. So every time entering the data was a very time-consuming part, and it might get me some error also if I put any wrong errors in the same lot. So now we have given a copy of option from the existing lot provision at the TC level to avoid this errors and save the time of the user. So now the existing lot can be copied. This copy feature is available at your physical lot registration screen. The next changes what we have made is in the quality. That is, we have added a filter of machine. That is, in the FIR report, you can filter your report by using the filter. So this filter will basically help you to save a lot of time on extracting data. Next changes, what we have done is in the quality, we have introduced the outsource inspection. The search has been enhanced. So while creating an outsource inspection, the user can now search it by a job order as well. So initially, we did not have a provision to search the outsource inspection by any job orders. But now you can search your outsource inspection by job order as well. Next change what we have done is in the stores module. So a filter has been added, an enhancement has been made in your consumption of issued material report. So in the issue material report, we have introduced a filter of item category. So you can filter your report using the item category, and you can get a separated item category by bifurcated report using this filter. Next in the stores, we have enhanced the material request note print. So we have given a provision in the single item MRN to request against a machine or employee. But in the print level, the data was not captured. That this material is issued against whom. So now the person's name, the employee's name or the machine's name, what you're selecting at the MRN single item MRN level, that is fetched at the MRN printout also. Next enhancement what we have made is in the return of issued material screen. So we issue a lot of single item MRN for the shop floor. That could be any type of consumables, toolings, or inserts. If we want to return that particular product or a particular component back to the stock, there was no provision to return it in the bulk. So now we have given a provision in for add option, that is add multiple option. So the single item issue, you can return it back in a bulk option. Next, in the stores, we have given a document to upload the facility in receiving of sales return. So, in the receiving of sales return, when the material is received from your customer, the document what is shared from your customer can be uploaded at the receiving of sales return. Next, validation has been checked. We had some bugs in the final inspection behavior, so that behavior bug has been resolved in this version. This production, the next change what we have done is the job order open close feature is enhanced. So here, in the first we had to require to list out the job order. In case only the item category is there is no way to filter it out. So now the user can filter the job list by job order by item category. Material request note now requires approval for single item. invoiced. So we have introduced a setting and an approval level at the MRN screen. So in some cases there are materials which are very highly priced. So it cannot be directly requested to the store person. It has to be went through a particular user or a management or a head of the department. So we have now introduced approval level in the single item request. So it is a setting based. So if you require this setting, you can put a service and let us know. Next change what we have done in the production is the multiple shop selection for a particular employee. So previously we did not had any multiple selection of the shop for the employee, and the employee can only work at a single shop. That was the previous configuration we had. So in the new scenario, we have given a multiple shop selection for that employee. So a single employee can work at a multiple shops, but we did not have that option. Now we have that option, and that against multiple shop can be configured to the employer and against his. And once it is configured, this name will show in the daily production against the shops selected at the employee master level. Next change what we have done is in the production, that is the production schedule feature has been enhanced. Initially, the production schedule screen would only be giving the data what what is pre-filled from the system. As a user, we did not have any control on which jobs we had to view or any specific jobs we had to show. So now we have given an option to view the production schedule with data or a blank data. So if you select the blank data, you can view the report. You will get a blank form level, and you can select the job orders what you want, and you can schedule it. If you select with data option, then all open jobs will be shown in the particular form. In the production, the next development what we have done is the improvement what we have done is the production flag validation. In case if the production has started and we did not had any control over the release of production button. So when the production is started, then also I could mark it as release of production. So now after this, once the production or the transaction is done against that job, it won't allow the user to untake the release for production. Next change what we have done is in the pending delivery note. The pending delivery note now shows all the pending delivery note by default. So we have basically added a filter in that particular report. The user can change the default setting to all as well as pending as well as complete. So here initially we did not add any status. By default, all list has to be shown on the list of pending delivery now. Now you can filter it out by pending, completed, and gone. By default, it would be selected pending section, pending option. Next, we have made some changes and enhancements in the invoice section, that is in the ready to invoice screen. In the ready to invoice screen, earlier we did not had any sales order number column, and for us to trace back the sales order number, we had to go back to the sales order, open the sales order, search by customer code. It was very time consuming, and it was a lengthy process for me to identify just that this particular invoice against which is against which order. So now, with the ready to invoice screen, we have given the sales order number reference. If the particular billing person or the invoice generation person have the access of sales order, He can directly click on that number and it will be and the system will redirect you to the particular sales order. Next, in the invoice, the ready to invoice screen has been enhanced where if my stock is less than the balance invoice quantity, it would be highlighted in red. Next, we have made some changes in the accounts for better control for credit for both suppliers and customers. So the scenario was earlier the credit periods were not visible in the outstanding reports. So now in the filter we have given the option in the supplier outstanding and customer outstanding report the credit period and the master credit period as per batch. So in the filter you will have in the show columns you will have to select the master credit dates, and when you click on show detail, you will have to select the voucher credit dates. So when you select both the columns in the outstanding reports, you will get both the columns with the data. So these columns can be controlled by the user. By default, these columns are not selected. When the user needs it, he will select. This the next change what we have done is we are displaying the net available credit amount given for the customer. In the master level, we have option to define the net available credit. Okay, and the new scenario, the total credit amount is now visible in the sundry debtors. Okay, when you click on the sundry debtors outstanding report, you will have to click on show columns. In show columns, we have given a column called balance credit limit. When you click on balance credit limit and click on OK, the report will show the column with a balance credit limit component value. The next change what we have done is we have added a currency in the cash in hand ledger to manage multi-currency cash ledgers. So initially, most of the companies used to keep multi-currency cash in hand ledgers at their end, but we did not have any control over or define multi-currency cash in hand ledgers. So now, if you have a cash in hand ledger group mentioned, you can select multi-currencies and save your account ledger. Next, we have introduced a report in the inventory value based on the FIFO method. Initially, we had actual cost and standard cost on the basis. Now we have also have FIFO method. So we have to provide a new report where a user can find a FIFO based valuation. So basically, the accounts is worked on the basis of FIFO reporting. So that is why we have introduced a stock valuation report with a value by FIFO method. Next, we have enhanced the P&L reports, the profit and loss reports. Earlier, in this reports, we only had the provision to see the year trend, current year figures. It was not possible us to see the trend over the last 2 years. So now in the new scenarios, we have given to compare the previous 2 years data, and the percentage option is also added in this to compare with the gross profit. So when you click on the profit and loss, you have three options: NA, previous year, and previous 2 years. So accordingly, if you select previous 2 years, the data is captured of previous 2 years as well, and the trend is also shown in this report. Similarly, in the balance sheet also, we have made the same changes and made it a good looking report where the earlier figures, as in the profit and loss, we could not get a comparison. So now we have given a provision of comparison to view the previous 2 years data in the balance sheet as well. Next, we have made the changes at the voucher level. That we have just made the voucher level accounting period a very foolproof Earlier, there was a possibility that user can add any date and make mistake to by mentioning any date and doing the voucher entry. That is not in this financial year also. But now we have kept a counting period setting where if that particular voucher date is not in this particular account period, then system will show a error. That is, it's not just not an error, it's a warning what system shows to you. So in all voucher level, we have given this warning, and system will not allow you to change, allow you to do the entry on the on this voucher. Next, but what if I have to do an entry of a previous financial year? Then we have given a provision to change the accounting period also. So here from here we will have to change the accounting period. Then you can do the entry for the previous financial year. Next change what we have done is in the cost center. So earlier when the supplier invoice was booked and if the cost center is applicable for that particular purchase voucher, we had to go inside the purchase voucher, balance the cost center manually and save it. This was a time consuming for me as an accountant. Okay. So now what we have done in the new scenario is we have given option to tag the cost center while adding a supplier invoice itself. So there is no need of going into the supplier invoice, go to a particular cost center, balance the voucher and save it. System will automatically balance it. But before that, we will have to update some masters, that is the purchase master, where you will have to mention it as cost center applicable, yes. And once you click on the supplier invoice registration on register voucher, system will ask you a provision whether you want to apply the same cost center to all the ledgers in this voucher. When you click on OK, the cost centers will be auto-balanced. You don't have to do anything manually. The next thing what we have done is the facility to see only debit and credit balances, sundry debtors and sundry creditors report. So in this scenario, earlier this facility to filter only the creditors or only the debit entries or the credit entries was not available. Now we have given a scenario which helps to reduce the clutter while putting entries. So you can get the data or filter the data with DR balance with CR balance. So it will help you to easily identify the data and work on the data. The next change what we have done is in the HR module, so some columns in the attendance. The managed attendance report has been freezed, so I can view the data fully. Initially, the headings also used to scroll down, so it was very difficult as a user to identify that this data is under which columns. So now the heads are freezed, and you can view your data with the head freezed option. Same, head has been freezed in the leave management also, so I can get my types of leaves and my number of leaves taken, opening and balance. Next, some enhancement has been done in the salary summary report. So now we have introduced the EPF EFS values that are shown in the salary summary report with the employer contribution. Next changes what we have done is at the master level. So we have given a control of sales regions. So basically, if any new region is introduced in a company, then and if I have to tag multiple employees in that region, I always had to go to that particular employee and edit that particular employee and select that particular region. It was a time consuming thing for me. Now In the sales region master, we have given a drop down to tag employees. So you don't have to go to the employee master specifically. You can directly go to the sales region and you can tag that particular employee of that particular region. Next, new constituency masters of GST has been announced. So while adding as a customer, some new constitutions has been added, that are the foreign company, the local authority, unlimited company, Hindu undivided family. So new constitutions have been added. You can use it accordingly. Next, the search function of the item master has been improved. Initially, using the special characters, we couldn't search any product in the item master. Now, in a new version, you can use special characters and search the items. In the master, we have given a provision now to copy the item price list and customer price list. So you can copy the existing item price list and customer price list to a new price list. So now you don't have to make a new price list. From the existing price list, you can copy, and whatever changes you have to make in the rates, you can make it and save the data. So it saves a lot of time of yours. The next change what we have done is in the machine type. So in the machine type, if the rate was changed, we did not capture the previous rate. So we did not had any control or we did not know what was the previous machine type cost per hour. So now we are storing all the previous rates what we are updating, which is auto commented by the system, and you can have your history maintained here. Next, in the masters, they have added a submission. So, if the job order has a similar unit of measurements, then we have given a submission at the end of the screen, where if it has a similar unit of measurement defined, you get a submission of total PO quantity. Uploads are made. So now this is a good feature what we have added in the taxation. While the time of receiving goods, we have given an upload function in the GRN document. If at the GRN document any documents are uploaded, then that particular GRN is selected as supplier invoice registration screen. The upload is shown. The GRN upload is shown at the supplier invoice registration screen. So the user who is booking the supplier invoice registration screen, he has a reference of the GRN upload, what my store person has uploaded. Next, in the outsourcing, we have just made some changes and enhancement in the challan printouts. So this is a customer specific printout. So if you want to see that printout, you can ask us or ask a support team. They will show you the example format for it. Next, some improvements in the MIS report. That is the MIS report. Now we have considered. Now we have option to consider the GST debit and the GST credit reports. So the following reports, like region by summary of sales, industry type by summary of sales, sales categories by summary of sales, export by summary of sales, and period by summary of sales. In all this MIS report, we have introduced whether you have to consider the tax, debit note, or credit. Next, we have given a option to short close the old sales order, purchase requisition, and purchase order in a bulk format. So there could be many sales orders, purchase orders, and purchase requisitions which are open from a long period and no actions have been taken forward for it. So now we have given a dashboard where you can get the list of stale sales order, stale PO, and stale PR. When you click on the number, the data is opened up to you, and you can short close all the stale orders in a single code. This is a good gentle feature what we have introduced in this new version, that is the digital signature provision. And this digital signature provision have been introduced in the purchase order, sales order, quotation and performer. So the digital signature, we have in-house built a software which works with our with the ERP and brings you the digital signature at every print. This is a next general development. What we have done is a screen compact, that is the display density. Basically, we had a complaint about our UI UX on the basis of the list of data, the number of data showing on our screen. So now we have introduced with a comfortable view and a compact view, which will help us to identify to get to to manage how much data we have to show on our screen. If I select the comfortable view, this text size is bit bigger and ease to my eyes, but the number of data what is showed is less. But when I select the compact view, the text size is bit lower than the comfortable, and more data is exposed to the screen. Okay, so this is the developments what we had made in this new version and the enhancement what we have done in this new version. These versions would be available by you by this week or the early next week. Thank you.